Welcome to Turnpike Sports. I'm Dave Weischadle, and as always, I'm joined by my producer and co-host, Doug Weischadle. Doug, I just found out one of our neighbors just made national news. 800 gamblers in the news.
Actually, it's the Council on Compulsive
Yes.
Gambling of New Jersey.
Famously known as 800
Yes,
Gambler.
800
Every time
Gambler.
I'm driving
Yes.
by their office, it says 800 Gambler on the big sign. So the big sign out in front. So.
Well, again, it's kind of interesting to see how some of these things are developing, especially with the increased attitude toward responsible gambling.
Absolutely.
And what we're talking about here is the National Council on Problem Gambling, NCPG,
Yes.
licensed the trademark 800 Gambler from CCNJ.
Yes.
To create what they want to do is create a national 800 gambler hotline to unify all the different problem gambling I don't want to say outfits, but organizations across the country, because everybody has different numbers to call.
Yeah, I noticed that. When New York went online with their sports betting, their mobile
Yes.
sports betting, they had a different number.
Yes.
So it's
Well, because
for some reason I always thought it was always 800 Gambler.
well,
you know?
CCNJ owns
Yeah.
800 Gambler,
And
as
they
a trademark.
license that out, correct?
Yeah, as a 6-month license for the trademark, a 6-year license. I'm sorry, 6 month would be nothing.
a little
And
short there.
one thing that everybody is complimenting about this deal is the NFL is part of this.
Yeah, great.
Because the
Yeah.
NFL had some money set aside for problem gambling to the NCPG, and with that money, the NCPG was able to do the licensing agreement with CCNJ. All these acronyms here are like driving me nuts. It's alphabet soup, but
Yeah, well, it's a
800
great
Gambler.
Yeah, it's a great organization.
Yeah.
They do such good work, and they've done such good work for a long time. You know, in House of Cards, our broadcast radio, we had a classic commercial from them from
Yes.
the 1980s, and it was 1-800 Gambler.
Yes, and it was back then. That was theirs too. And what just to round out the story real quick, what the National Council on Problem Gambling is going to do is when you call the 800 Gambler number, when this is all implemented, when you call the 800 Gambler number wherever you're located, it's going to redirect you to your local problem gambling center.
Okay, great. Well, we got a big show coming up. We got a Beat in the House. And for my interview segment, I have a very interesting interview with a site called Better Edge. The website is betteredge.com. And I'm going to be talking with the co-founders, Greg Kieski and James Siles. The interesting thing about Better Edge is that it's a social betting marketplace. And we're going to find out all about what a social betting marketplace is and how that differs from a traditional sports book. And these are really two great guys. And through their site, Better Edge, they're also doing a lot of charity work, which is also a great thing.
All around a great outfit.
Absolutely. Today's trip down the Turnpike is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Exit 1.
Well, last week we talked about the CEO of DraftKings, Jason Robbins, making comments about
Yes.
sports betting in the industry.
Yes.
Well, this week we've got Charles Barkley
Yes.
making comments on the betting industry. And again, you got to remember, Charles Barkley is a brand ambassador and a spokesperson for FanDuel.
Yes, I saw his commercial.
Yes. And every time you watch Inside the NBA, when he's sitting on the desk with everybody, invariably he throws out picks.
Okay.
Sports betting picks for that night's games or other games too, as a matter
Okay.
of fact. And he's always talking about his betting
All right.
habits. But he came out, and this was his very first comment. There's too much of it.
Yeah, just to see his side of it, I can understand. Living in a place, New Jersey, where, you know, we have New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania sports books trying to get business. It's constant with the TV shows and the television advertisements and the billboards and the bus wraps. I can see his point.
He's not even talking about advertising.
Oh, okay. Well,
He's not even talking about advertising.
Well, I'm talking about advertising
Yes.
now. I'm just saying, you know, there's a lot of advertising. It's always in your face. There's a lot of television shows with betting.
Well, here's his next statement, and you'll see exactly what he's talking about. We've got people in the stands betting on who's going to make the next free throws.
Okay.
Think about that. If I was a scumbag, and this is his words, if I was a scumbag...
This is quote, right?
This is quotes. I'm not saying I'm a scumbag.
Okay.
If I was a scumbag, I'd look at a guy in the stands, a friend, and say, yo, I'm going to miss both of these free throws.
That's taking it to the extreme, though.
That's a statement right there. That's a whole really specific complaint about the betting industry. And again, he's right, though.
Yeah. Look, I'm glad someone said it. Because it makes us think about it, makes us talk about it,
Yes.
it gets it out in the media, and we can have a discussion about it, which is great, and good for Charles Barkley for bringing it up. I don't think that's ever going to happen. Maybe I shouldn't say I think that's going to happen.
You shouldn't say that.
But I think he's taking it to the extreme to make a point.
I think that goes to
and I can see his point as well.
It goes to the integrity of the game issues that everyone's focused on. That's why a lot of these leagues do these deals for integrity.
Yeah.
And again, it just was weird hearing it come from a guy who's constantly talking about betting. I mean, he even...
Well, I saw his commercials.
Well, he was also... these statements were made at the American Century Celebrity Golf Tournament.
Okay.
And in last year, when he was at a celebrity golf tournament, he bet $100,000 on himself to finish in the top 70. Now, Nevada has the rule where you can't bet on an event that you're participating in. So the money was refunded no matter what. Okay. Regardless of that.
All right.
But he's always talking about betting, and now he's talking about there's too much of it. And his last comments were, along the lines of, oh, here it is. Like I said, the toothpaste is out of the tube, and I don't know how to put it back in. So basically, he went out and said whatever he said without any kind of, answer to what he was complaining about, or even bringing it to attention. But I understand what he's saying. He's worried about the integrity of the games. There's a lot of questionable people out there that may take advantage of the in-stadium betting. Maybe he's against in-stadium betting. Well, I don't know. He wasn't clear one way or the other.
I understand. I'm glad he brought it up, so we're talking about it. It creates a conversation, which it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to be aware of. So
yes,
I get why he did it. So I understand why he did it too.
Yeah, and it's a high-profile person.
Sure.
Exit 2.
Well, if you're a gamer, how do you travel? That's a dumb question to start off this segment. I'm looking at how do you pack your equipment?
Well, how much equipment do you take?
Some of these guys travel.
You go to a tournament. I don't know anything behind the scenes of these esport tournaments, but I would assume you have your. I'm of the age where I used to call it a joystick, but controller. Can I say, is that the right term for that?
You got controllers.
Certainly, you would have your own controller where you would plug it into somewhere. Do you bring your own console? Do you bring your own game?
Some of them do, because again, they have deals.
Well, I guess they also have to practice in their hotel rooms.
They also have equipment deals where you got to bring your own console, your own controller, cables.
Okay,
and not to mention you got to have luggage.
You have to bring your own. I guess you have to bring your own cables.
And you have to have luggage that can actually handle all that stuff.
Oh, are we going to talk about a luggage deal?
We are talking gamer luggage.
Luggage, all right.
It's an interesting problem from a luggage perspective.
Yes.
Joe versus the Volcano fans will know where that's from.
We should have pulled that clip. When else would we use that clip?
Probably never again after this segment here. But lifestyle brand Toomey has joined forces with Razer, which is another gaming lifestyle brand, to launch a new limited-run series of gaming-themed luggage. They're going to have 4 pieces, a carry-on suitcase, a backpack, a sling bag, and a laptop sleeve.
Okay, I get the suitcase thing because I would think if you're taking a console and some of these controllers and things like that, you'd want it in its own cushioned section. When you ever open up a briefcase and it has this different section and it's all cushioned, I would assume that you would need to travel.
Funny you should say that.
But
for
a backpack
cables.
And a sling bag and a laptop sleeve is pretty much standard kind
The
of
sling
stuff,
bag and backpack are designed for cable storage.
Okay, cables.
And then the suitcase is designed to provide extra protection for delicate computer equipment.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the suitcase.
I would think the suitcase thing would be the important one.
Well, again, however they want to carry
A
it.
backpack, a sling bag, and a laptop sleeve is limited of things you could do with it, I would think.
I'm assuming some gamers are going to get these things for free as endorsement deals sort of things. But you don't have to buy all 4. You can buy 1 or 2 or whatever you want.
Okay.
Again, they're all designed with the Razer colors. It's going to be black and neon green.
Okay.
I've actually seen these.
All right. I'll check them out.
If you go to the Toomey's website, Toomey.com, or Razer's website, you'll see these.
How do you spell Toomey? I'll go to
Tumi.
Okay.
And you'll see them. They're actually really, really cool looking.
Okay.
Not just for gamers, but if you like the color scheme and everything, they look great. They range from $195 for the laptop sleeve.
Wow.
Just the sleeve.
The sleeve?
Yes.
How much? $195?
$195.
For a laptop sleeve?
Yes. And it goes to $900 for the suitcase.
That's the thing you zip up and
Yes,
it's a big
yes.
envelope.
Exactly. Yes.
$195. Okay.
And it's $900 for the suitcase. All the way. That's the highest priced.
You know, I think Five Below has them for $5.
Yes, but they're not this cool.
Yeah, they're not black and
just so you know, I did go to the Toomey website, looked at them. They are sold out.
Wow.
All 1,337 units are sold out.
Wow. Okay.
And
see, I'm making fun of the laptop sleeve, and everyone bought it.
Everybody bought everything.
So okay.
And again, they're saying this, and I didn't know this. 1,337 is a number that is big in the gamer community.
What's the number again?
1,337. 1,337.
Okay.
It falls under leet speak. L-E-E-T. Leet speak.
What
Number
is that?
one, the word leet, when you put it in digital, it looks like 1,337. Now, now, leet speak is old bulletin board language. Back in the early 80s, when all you had were the BBSs, the bulletin board series services where you just post things.
Okay, yeah, I remember those. All right.
To get around the censors, the gaming community came up with coding that alters the way the words look. They used to do, leet would be, instead of spelling leet, L-E-E-T, you put those numbers there.
Okay.
They would actually substitute numbers and characters for different other numbers.
I see it. I have it in my notes. It does 1337. It does look like leet.
And it's just to get around the censors.
Interesting. Okay.
So that was an old way of getting around censorship back on the bulletin board system, and it's hung around and it's become kind of an ingrained aspect of the gaming
That's
community.
pretty cool. I like that. Yeah.
Drizzly makes it easy to shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor from wherever I am. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly. Ding dong, Drizzly.
Exit 3.
Going to talk a little NFTs again today.
More NFTs.
Every week we have NFTs.
Who has NFTs this week?
This week it's DraftKings and the UFC.
Oh, okay.
Together.
All right.
Now, they already have a partnership for NFTs with the UFC through their DraftKings marketplace, where they sell.
I see when I watch UFC, I see the DraftKings logo everywhere.
That's all part of the deal.
Yep.
What they're doing here, they're extending their partnership with the UFC. DraftKings is extending its partnership with the UFC and creating what they're going to be calling Rainmakers UFC.
Okay.
These are gamified NFTs. That's a big way of saying the NFTs unlock game pieces.
See, that's pretty cool. I like that.
That's
a great idea.
What they're going to be doing is DraftKings got access to over 500 different UFC athletes' IP, like name, image, likeness stuff, and they're going to create NFTs based upon the 500 different athletes.
Great.
For the Rainmakers UFC collection, UFC fans can now go ahead and start buying these NFTs as just straight collectibles right now.
Okay.
Because the overall game portion of this is still being developed.
See, I like the fact that not only are you collecting the NFTs, but they unlock things.
Yes.
Anytime an NFT unlocks things, I like it.
The utility NFT.
Yes, I like those.
I like how you're going to have to start distinguishing utility NFTs to design NFTs. They're almost like patents.
Well, I'm just getting used to the NFT thing. So
right now,
we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
The NFTs will unlock rewards such as entries into special daily fantasy contests for cash and merchandise. You're also going to have basically either digital or physical memorabilia attached to the NFTs right now. But when the game does launch, you will be able to collect and use these pieces to create your own team of UFC stars.
See, that's great.
To participate in the games.
See, I like that. Well, you mentioned something about fantasy. I mean, I have never played UFC fantasy. The football, baseball, the big four sports. I've done fantasy sports. I've never done fantasy UFC.
No, I'm not huge into the MMA scene.
Okay,
but it's big in fantasy now too.
Oh no, I throw a little money on when they're for betting purposes, but I've never played fantasy UFC.
Well, these are going to, when the game actually physically launches, it hasn't launched yet, like I said, they're still developing the Rainmakers UFC game. They're going to be different missions, different achievements,
Good.
level ups, leaderboards, other game mechanics, and the more NFTs you buy, the more rewards you get in terms of the gamification side of everything.
Right.
I have to use these terminologies now.
Gamification.
Gamification. So, I'm looking forward to
3
seeing
years
what they
ago,
do
we've
this.
never used the word gamification.
No.
Now everyone's gamifying everything.
Well, I've never used the word digital collectibles as much in my life as the last couple of months here, but every week we're seeing some really new and unique NFTs dropping, and we've got even more coming down the road.
Before this year, I've never used the word fungible.
No.
Now every week it's non-fungible tokens.
I never thought I'd have-
non-fungible tokens that. So.
I never thought I'd see the word fungible be part of
Yeah.
everyday conversation with some of this stuff. But again, this is going to be interesting to watch because as more and more NFTs are released, the more you buy, the better your team can get.
Great, good.
So
I like that.
it's going to be fun watching Rainmakers UFC launch.
Great.
Exit 4.
Last exit for the day, we're going to be talking Fanatics.
Okay.
And Fanatics, as you know, is not just a clothing maker or a clothing distributor anymore. They are a apparel company. They're a sports betting company. They're a fantasy sports company. And what most people don't realize is once they bought Topps cards, they are a collectible trading card company. So what they've gone and do, and they've done this quietly over the last couple of months. They have signed deals. Fanatics has signed deals with more than 100 universities in the country to create a new college sports trading card market.
I love this. I love this whole idea. You know, anytime you have a trading card or a sports card, you always look for the rookie card. Now you're going to have cards even before these players were rookies. You're going to have the senior cards of these players, which I think is great.
Well, this is all made possible because of the name, image, likeness statutes and legislation that's out there for the college athletes. Previously to this, what these trading card companies had to do for college trading cards was, number one, wait until the player that they wanted to put on the card graduated, and then do the card, almost like a historical type card.
I've never collected a college trading card.
They've been around for a while. But now with the NIL
when I think
deals,
of like sports trading cards, I don't even think of college sports.
Well, now with NIL deals, they can actually
I guess
make
so.
the cards with the name, image, and likeness of the specific player while he's there.
That's great.
So they
think
have
that's really great.
They have an extra 3 to 4 years of trading cards with one player, instead of waiting until he leaves and then goes pro, where it's just be the pro cards.
That almost creates a new collectible kind of market. You know?
Yes. You could actually have.
I'd be very curious to see some of the value placed on some of these cards in a couple of years.
Think about this: you can actually have an entire trading card series of one player from the years he spent in college,
absolutely,
through every year he played in the pros, and have just one collection of the guy's cards.
Oh, and if that person wins the Heisman Trophy, you can imagine the worth of that card.
That's a whole other minting of a new card.
That's what
where
I
it's
mean.
the Heisman cards.
Yeah, that's
that's something they don't have to worry about waiting for. And again, this is all because of the name, image, likeness deals that are out there, and it benefits not only the schools, but it also benefits the players too. They've got not only 100 schools, but they also did deals with 200 student athletes as well. As a matter of fact, you mentioned the Heisman Trophy. One of the players that they signed was the Alabama quarterback Bryce Young.
Okay, good.
Heisman Trophy winner.
Okay.
And then they have South Carolina basketball star Aaliyah Boston. So they've got some big name players. They've got the schools. They've got long-term deals with Alabama, Georgia, Penn State, Texas A&M, Kentucky, Kansas. That begin as early as 2023. Then you've got other deals that will start sooner or later, depending on how much they work these out. They got Bowman University, as well as Duke, North Carolina, Syracuse, and Oklahoma. So they got some big name schools, big name players. I'm curious to see how much better college football cards would sell over college basketball.
That would be very interesting.
So we'll see, but
Can't
again,
wait to check them out.
Keep an eye out for the Fanatics college sports trading cards. Probably coming to market sooner than you think.
And today's trip down the Turnpike was brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using our promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
And as always, you can get in touch with Turnpike Sports by calling or texting us at 609-512-5910. That's 609-512-5910. At Turnpike Sports is the show's handle on Facebook and Twitter. At Turnpike Sports Radio is our handle on Instagram. And as always, our email address is info@turnpikesportsradio.com. And don't forget, you can listen to the show via Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, radio.com mobile app, as well as Stitcher and YouTube. You can also watch us on your smart TV, Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV. Head on over to turnpikesports.net. You'll be able to watch our video channel there.
Well, we got a great show coming up. We got a Beat in the House segment. But right after this, I'm talking with Greg Kieski and James Siles from Better Edge. BetterEdge.com is a social betting marketplace. We're going to find out all about Better Edge and what a social betting marketplace is and how it differs from traditional sports books. So stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
Yeah, you, come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. I'm excited to talk to our next guests because they are bringing something new and exciting to the sports betting industry. The name of the company is Better Edge, and it's a social betting marketplace. We're going to find out what that is and all about Better Edge when we talk to its CEOs and founders, Greg Kieski and James Siles, who's on the line with us right now. Greg and James, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
I got to tell you, thank you so much for coming on because Better Edge, I think, is one of the most innovative concepts in sports betting industry. How did this company come into being?
Yeah, so this is James. So Greg and I are originally from Iowa. Our backgrounds are in accounting and mine in computer science. And I spent about 10 years in the consulting space with working with IT departments across Fortune 500 companies in the fintech and retail. And really I love sports betting. I did it with my college friends all the time. Unfortunately, lived in states where the traditional ways to sports bet weren't legal. So we had to sort of create our own ecosystem amongst our friends to kind of bet against each other. And, I started building little apps in Excel and then gradually taking them into web apps and mobile apps. And I started to realize that, some of the industry just knowns within sports betting just were kind of continuing on that status quo path.
Yeah.
While in fintech and retail, we were seeing, these revenue models completely change for the benefit of the customer. And so really I started looking at, online brokers and fintech and how 10 years ago, you were charged a fee to make a trade.
Sure.
And why hasn't that happened in sports betting, right? They're still charging a VIG. And so really taking that concept to what we were doing with my college friends and trying to figure out, well, how do we do this without a fee, scale it? And that was really the original story of how we kind of came up with the concept of Better Edge. I went and actually pitched it to Greg. The original concept, he made it a lot better. We did an innovation challenge a couple of years ago and won. And that actually started the creation of the company and the application itself.
You know, I always find it interesting how people become involved in the sports betting industry and really how they change the business when they do get involved. When you both looked at the betting industry, what made you think that Better Edge would do well in it? Was there something that the traditional sports books were doing that made you think that Better Edge could provide customers something that was lacking in the sports betting industry?
Yeah, and I think the big thing there is we just have a huge passion for innovation. So the innovation that we saw in the fintech space of not having transaction fees worked well for Robinhood, Webull, all kinds of different platforms. And that's really changed the way that people trade and made it more accessible to everyone. And then you're starting to see newer startups really focused in the fintech space around social and being able to allow for you to follow other people's investment advice and take action with them. And really, when we analyze the consumers in the sports betting space, we really saw that a lot of different users or consumers really wanted that social component as well. So with our platform, not only do you have the transparency of having what other people are betting and you get it with no fees, you can also you can back, you can fade kind of different individuals who are betting within the community. That allows for just a much better experience for the consumers, which we're really excited about thus far. And we're continuing to see a lot of adoption and growth with that theory as well.
Now, I used a term that I guess is pretty new to a lot of people out there who are listening. You called Better Edge a social betting marketplace. What exactly is a social betting marketplace, and how does it differ from traditional sports books?
Yeah, so with a marketplace, what you end up doing is you can go out there and set your price and put that out there to the community, and it acts very much like a stock market. So if you wanted to buy Apple stock today, if you wanted to put a limit order in at 100, you could put that in, and if somebody else wants to sell it for 100, a match would occur, and that would go back out, and you would have a purchase of Apple stock. On our platform, instead of it being Apple stock, you're leveraging, do you want the Celtics to win or do you want the Warriors to win? Somebody else in the world takes the opposite side of that particular transaction, and we match you taking no fees in that as well. Whereas with the sports book, they're typically taking action on both sides.
Yep.
They take 100 on the Celtics and 100 on the Warriors. They're only paying out 190. And so with Better Edge, you get all $200 of that paid back out.
Now, James, it said on your website, and you guys mentioned it before, you can bet against others with no fee. I'm sure that catches a lot of people's attention in the sports betting industry. When you say no fee, what do you mean? And really, if there's no fee, how are you guys making any money with this?
Yeah, so no fee means exactly what it says. So we don't charge a VIG, which is a known concept in the industry, which is kind of like a hidden fee, really.
Yeah.
And they've done a really good job of marketing that as a VIG and not a fee, when at the end of the day, it is a fee. And it actually makes it impossible to win at sports betting unless you're winning around 53% of the time, because you're getting charged that fee on all of your bets. We don't charge a VIG. We also don't mask a VIG as a commission either. We don't charge any commissions that you'll see at maybe exchanges. So every dollar in our marketplace from our users goes back to our users. We also don't charge fees on deposits and withdrawals. So when you look at, competitors, when you're really putting in $100 to do your sports betting, you're losing a lot of that money on these little fees on the transactions and the deposits and the withdrawals. So we don't charge any of that. And the way we make money is we are looking at it as, we're really a tech company at the end of the day. We're just a platform that provides features and value to our users. So the nice thing with us being a platform that doesn't take a side, we don't really care if our users win or lose. We just want them to know that we want to make sure that they're having a good time and that they come back. Because our revenue model is we sell, advertising. We have premium features where you can, pay monthly or pay on a microtransaction basis to get access to additional data, additional features in our social feed. We also have other ancillary revenue models like other tech companies would around external data, APIs, stuff like that. So all of the money that we make, our goal is to make it not be at the detriment of our consumers, and instead make it more like modern tech companies and social media companies and how they make money.
I think you made a lot of fans with that answer. Boy, that is something that you don't see in the sports betting industry a lot. I'm curious, Greg, why don't you take this one? I know sportsbooks need to get licensed to operate in states. Is that the same procedure for a social betting marketplace? Did you have to go to different states and get permission to operate in there?
Yeah, so if you look at a lot of the innovation James talked about, so we went first when we started this company, worked with industry experts on the legal side and really said what is occurring in this business model. And if you think about it, there's no room for getting licensed as a sports book when you're not a sports book. And there's other industries as well that licensing doesn't necessarily fit our business model. So when we launched in Minnesota first, we reached out to legislators, gambling control board members in the state of Minnesota and said, here's our business model, here's what we're doing. And one of my favorite calls was I explained what Better Edge is. And the legislator came back to me and said, that's awesome. So you're legal. I totally get it. It makes sense. And that was just a huge, valid point of we've done all this work in this space and people get it back quickly and jump to it. So we've continued to go to market in the Midwest and push that further and continue to work closely with different legislation and different boards to help them understand how our business model works and why it's different than the legacy type systems out there.
Do you find it challenging talking to regulators and legislators and trying to explain what a social betting marketplace is? I know sports betting is new around the country, and they might not be familiar with different, aspects of sports betting. Is it more of a challenge to talk about what a social betting marketplace is?
Yeah, I think there's a bit of a challenge there in just getting people up to speed on kind of what's available in the industry. We've looked a lot to other industries, whether it's fintech or even Uber. Uber came to market as a technology company, and you think it's kind of a taxi company. They don't have any taxis. They don't own any cars. All of that is very similar to kind of how we look at the market. And then in addition to that, we've also looked to the UK. The UK has a completely different structure in how they approach and tackle exchanges and different kind of sports betting marketplaces where you're not actually taking any risk, where you're not actually setting prices, all those things. So we definitely want to work with all the different states and make sure they help understand where we fit in this and help kind of carve out a new industry. And I think you look back towards 2015, what DFS did. DFS had a huge role in really defining that industry, and I think we can have a huge opportunity to do that going forward as well.
James, what states are you in right now? From looking at your website, betteredge.com, it looks like you're operating in a majority of the states in the U.S.
Yeah, that's correct. So I think we're at 45 that we allow access to the real money portion of our platform. And then the 5 we currently don't, based on just our legal opinion and just the individual state laws that are in those states.
Now, I mentioned your website, betteredge.com, and it's just loaded with information. Walk us through the website. What can people expect to find when they go to your website, and how do people get involved with Better Edge?
Yeah, so we have a web app, so it's a progressive web app. So when you sign up on Better Edge, it takes just a couple of minutes. And then if you do want, so we actually are one of the only platforms that actually has 2 sort of versions of the application. So you can sign up, not verify your identity and do any of that, and actually play in our demo mode, which gets users used to the concept of a social betting marketplace because it is different than your traditional sports books. And so there are some concepts and terms that may not be super familiar to the traditional sports bettor. So you can get on there, you can play around in demo mode. We call them edge coins. They're really just for practice. But then once you verify your identity and, give us access to your location, you can get on there and start using it with real money. And so it's pretty simple to sign up and get verified. It takes, I think our quickest one we've seen is about a minute and a half, all the way through the whole process. So, it's really easy. You just go to betteredge.com and then you click sign up from there.
So, Greg, what sports does Better Edge cover, and what types of bets are offered, and what can your customers expect to see? What kind of bets can they place on betteredge.com?
Yeah, so today we have your spread, winner, total markets, as well as different player markets. You can access those across NBA, NHL, MLB, PGA. right now. Those are in WNBA as well. Obviously, those are in season. We also have EPL, UFC, NFL, NCAA football.
Wow. Okay.
Majority is kind of your bigger sports that you'd want to be able to go out there and bet on. Individuals are able to dive in and check it out.
James, tell us about the lines and the odds and how they're set on Better Edge. I mean, what is that process like? What can customers expect to see from the lines and the odds that are being offered? And since it's kind of a peer-to-peer betting, do customers have some say in what the odds that are posted?
Yeah, absolutely. So it operates, like Greg had mentioned, like a stock market. So the prices that are shown, we never set them as a company.
Okay.
We simply take what we call as the last trade price. So if you put an order out there and say, we've got the stock market concepts like market order, limit order, but let's say you put an order out there for tomorrow's NBA Finals game where you like Boston at minus 130 to win the game. And since we have no VIG, the other side of that would be the Warriors at plus 130. And if you trade with another user or multiple users, that minus 130 will be the visible price that is shown in the platform until a new trade occurs. And if it's at a different price, the price will change. And so that's the visible price is based on all of our marketplace activity. We do understand that there may be lower volume markets where prices may not, maybe the last trade price is a little outdated. And so we do actually bring in about 10 different external prices. So whether that's sports books or we have data analytic providers that kind of generate their own what a price would be based on previous data. And we do give that access to all of our users at their fingertips. So you can quickly say, all right, I see Better Edge's last trade is minus 130. What does, a sportsbook say? And you can click a button and see what the sportsbook says for that same bet type. And that allows our users to get maybe a little more information on the prices that they want to put into the platform.
What are some of the features that people can find on the app? Because I looked at it and you have some features that the traditional sports books don't have. I mean, it's really great that what people can see on the app, like tracking their bets and things like that. What can people expect from the app?
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the coolest things that I like about what we're doing is we're just connecting two users within the marketplace. And that allows for us to really change the way that we give you service. So one of the things you talked about is analytics. So we want all of our bettors to be informed not only about what's happening in current market conditions, but we also want them to be informed about how their history of betting occurs. So if you're winning more in NHL or winning more in NBA, we have analytics and reports that you can leverage to be able to see that and say, here's where I'm making the most money and getting the most ROI, and here's where I'm losing money. So analytics is a huge part of kind of how we see this playing out. Additionally with that as well, the whole brand of Better Edge is what do you need as a consumer to have that better experience, better opportunity. And we see the social side as a huge opportunity for, following other bettors in the space to say they're winning at 55%. I want to see what it is that they're betting so I can win alongside of them as well. So a lot of social components like that. So you can follow others. We have a Better Edge score in there, which allows for us to drive transparency across how people are doing within the platform. And that takes into account risk, win percent, all kinds of different things that really kind of give that transparency of how everybody's doing within the platform.
One of the things when we started the company, we were like, it's a strange thing in the industry where if I buy and sell Apple stock and I'm seeing that the price is $1,000, like the equivalent of the sports betting would be that the New York Stock Exchange is just telling me that the price is 1,000 with no transparency into the trades that have happened to make that price 1,000. And so one of the things we wanted to make sure we did was, hey, we're going to make everything transparent that's been traded. So if you go into an individual market like tomorrow's game, you'll see every single trade that has occurred in that market and show you why and how that price has moved the way it's moved. And with no manipulation from us. It's all based on the marketplace. And so you have confidence that, 1,000 people have bought the Celtics at minus 130, so I'm good with that. While in the traditional way, all of that data is hidden behind the operators' walls because their revenue models are based on the fact that they need to get in the money on those positions. So that was one of our big things, and that's what you'll see as well on the platform.
You know, I love the concept of Better Edge. I mean, you're actually building a community of sports bettors, and I think it's a great idea, and you're offering what traditional sports books don't offer to their customers. Greg, what has been the reaction from your customers to Better Edge?
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of growth over the last year. We launched marketing going into the NFL playoffs of 2021, and we've seen volume skyrocket over 600% growth, since then.
Wow.
Month over month, having really good numbers. And then even once consumers jump onto our platform, we're seeing north of 75% retention after a user places an order. So I think a lot of those numbers really give us a lot of validity in the fact that people like this transparent experience. They like to be able to social bet. They like getting the best price. And then, we're doing a lot of cool things around charity as well that I think really helps people feel good about what they're doing when they come back and leverage Better Edge.
Well, what's the most popular sport, in your opinion, that people bet on Better Edge? I mean, it seems like the bettors have more of a say in the betting that goes on your platform. So, in your opinion, both of you can answer this. What has been the most popular sport that people have bet on?
Yeah, football is definitely king. It's always been king. So your NFL and college football. I think what we were surprised by, though, is after the Super Bowl, we definitely expected a dip. Just maybe not a dip, but a slow in growth, just because the Super Bowl is obviously a massive betting day. But we actually saw a huge jump with college basketball.
Oh, okay.
And from a popularity standpoint, that was probably our number one volume sport, just given the number of games and March Madness. And honestly, one of the crazy things is everyone looks at March Madness as this big betting thing. The conference tournaments leading up to March Madness were almost just as big for us. So
really?
That was really fun to see as well, yeah.
All right, I want to know what's the most interesting thing that someone can bet on Better Edge. I'm asking this because I'm sitting here in New Jersey, and on July 4th, for some reason, everyone puts money on the Nathan's hot dog eating contest. By the way, my bet is the same every year, Joey Chestnut and the over. But do people bet on things like that for Better Edge, or do you like the hot dog eating contest or the Oscars, or do you guys need to get permission to allow people to bet on things like that? What has been the most interesting bet so far on Better Edge?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we haven't done Nathan's hot dogs, but we do get a lot of different custom fun things on there. So we've had a lot of your Super Bowl items and coin toss, Gatorade color. And we've done some very specific local things to the Minneapolis market. So every Friday there's an initials game that you can go out there and you can bet on who's going to win that on the radio show. So
cool.
Driving that integration in the media. We've even had watch parties before where we've had users do over-under on how fast they can hit it, a hockey puck based on miles per hour. So really try to do some local fun things. And I think as we continue to grow and scale, we'll continue to look at adding a lot of those different options as well, just to really make it quite fun for the community.
Not only do I love the fact that you're creating a sports betting community, but you're also giving back to the community through charity, as you mentioned. What are some of the charities that Better Edge is involved with?
Yeah, so this last year, we started in February or March, and after 9-10 months, we actually ended up giving a $10,000 check to Chad Greenway's Lead the Way Foundation. And that came about because every time you place a $100 bet on our platform, you're actually saving $4, $5, $6 over going to a traditional or legacy model. And so we'll actually show you that after you make your bet and say you save $5 on this. Do you want to donate that to charity? And so we saw almost 30% of our community donate back to charity. We were able to give that back to Chad Greenway, which helps support the Children's Hospital.
That's great.
In Minnesota, as well as across Iowa, South Dakota. So we're extremely passionate about giving back. We just recently signed on Joy Taylor Foundation as well. So Joy Taylor helps support children across various different cities, Miami, LA, as well. So we're really excited about having her on board to help give back to that charity as well.
James, in terms of growth, what is Better Edge focusing in on in the coming year? I know Canada just recently launched their sports betting industry. Do you think Better Edge in Canada can be a possibility in the future?
Yeah, it definitely is. It's not in our short-term vision. I think, when we launched and we've sort of held true to this, we really wanted to, launch locally, which we did in our home state of Minnesota, begin to grow nationally, which is sort of the section we're in now. So we're going out to strategic states and launching marketing in those states within the U.S. And then eventually we'd like to expand globally, but that's not in our probably 12-month plan right now. It's really to get a foothold here in the U.S. to start, and then look at our options to launching globally.
Greg, every week you hear about media deals in the sports betting industry. Is that something Better Edge is looking to do or is doing right now, making deals with media outlets?
Yeah, so we do a lot of different things with various podcasts on our platform. And we've done it really from a groundswell type experience of getting people on board. So when you're talking on a podcast about your upcoming bets, you can also bet those on Better Edge. People can find those, track those, see how you're doing, and then be able to bet alongside of you, which I think is a really unique offering that podcasts are able to leverage to actually be able to bet with your listeners and compete with them. And there's leaderboards, all kinds of different things. You can see how you're doing against them. I think, as we continue to grow, there's a lot of opportunity for us to deliver media and content in a very unique way with our social feed. So as users are betting on, the Yankees-Twins game, they're able to then see content and media that is pertinent and relevant to, allowing them to make a better decision. We can serve that up to them based off a very customized experience in their history as well. So we're definitely looking to expand kind of how we can give a better product offering to consumers, and media is going to be a huge part of that strategy as well.
One of the things I see traditional sports books doing is making deals with the professional sport leagues and the colleges and universities. James, do you see deals like that in the future for Better Edge? Because they always talk about fan engagement, and you can't have more fan engagement than what you're doing on Better Edge.
Yeah, we definitely do. So from a tech standpoint, I take pride in the fact that we were able to build this from scratch. And so we are pretty much top of the line from being horizontally scalable. And so any integration that we want to do with the sports team and their tech department on getting customer engagement higher with the use of our platform will be pretty seamless and flexible. So we are excited about that, and we have been in talks with some teams. We just haven't really pulled the trigger on anyone yet, but I would expect to see us doing something like that over the next 12 months.
Great. Let me ask you something. I'm sitting here in New Jersey. We have about 25 online sports books, and a lot of them offer the same thing. I mean, believe me, I read their commercials every week. Do you think the uniqueness of Better Edge will make you really stand out in a crowded market like New Jersey or Pennsylvania or Nevada? James, what do you think?
Yeah, I do. And I go back to, this isn't a winner-take-all industry in my mind, and especially as we get the ease of, making a sports bet across different models, right? You're going to have your traditional sports books. They're going to be there. They're going to fill a need. You're going to have marketplaces like ours build up and fill a need. And when you look at, like, for example, crypto is a great example of an exchange model where, you didn't have a winner take all. There's tons of exchanges out there. And what people end up doing is they create multiple accounts, they price shop, right? So if I wanted to buy a Bitcoin on one exchange, it may be priced at, 20,000 on another, it's at 19,800. And so I definitely feel the same concept is going to be applied in sports betting. And it already kind of is. It's a little difficult right now because you either got to go to an affiliate, see the prices, go to the book that you want, buy it because it's cheaper. But once this all gets integrated, which I do think it will be, I mean, we have no commission or fee. So at the end of the day, if we're in a state with 25 operators and you can get 10 to win 10 on our platform while everyone else is offering 10 to win 9, as long as the ease of use is there and the quickness of it, why not? Why won't people go and make more money on their bet? And so that's really our vision of the crowded states. And why we think we'll definitely be able to operate there.
Greg, give us a snapshot of the coming year. Where do you see Better Edge in the near future?
Yeah, great question. I think we're going to continue to double down on where we're having success. So really finding those communities that care about, betting alongside their groups, betting alongside their friends. We'll continue to push marketing in different states where users are able to leverage our platform. whether that's, doubling down in Florida, looking at Texas, California. There's a lot of people that are really interested in getting their hands on a platform like ours to allow for them to be able to bet without fees. So pretty excited about really just getting more users, more growth, and then obviously continuing to innovate on the platform. So you're going to see a lot of new features, functionality that just continue to make it easier for people to share their positions, share what they believe is going to happen in the markets for listeners to engage with. So pretty excited about really all of that, and I think we'll continue to see the numbers continue to grow throughout this year as well.
Guys, we're running out of time, but can you give out your website so people can check out Better Edge and register and download the app?
Yep. Go to betteredge.com, and if you click on join, you can use the code CARDS, and you'll get a free $20 when you sign up as well. So happy to give that out to all your listeners. I appreciate you guys having us on, and anybody looking to check us out, feel free to shoot us over a message or any information on feedback. We'd love to hear from you guys and love to hear how your experience goes.
Greg Kajewski and James Siles, CEO and founders of Better Edge, thank you for coming on and telling us all about Better Edge and for bringing something unique and exciting to the sports betting industry. Please come back on and keep us updated on Better Edge. Thanks so much for talking with us.
We'd love to. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports.
With Drizzly, I can shop a huge selection of beer, wine, and liquor. I just open the app, find what I want, and it's at my door in under 60 minutes.
Drizzly also lets me shop from multiple stores in my area and compare prices on thousands of products.
Ding dong, Drizzly.
We'll get back to the show in a few moments, but I just wanted to take some time and tell everyone about Bean Genius, the smart specialty coffee subscription service. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country. They feature over 2,000 specialty coffee blends, all at your fingertips at beangenius.com. Here's how it works. Head on over to beangenius.com and take their palate profiler test to find out what coffee best fits your taste. Then select from a variety of subscription plans. Every subscription comes with free shipping, and delivery can even be scheduled for once or twice each month. And based upon your review of each coffee blend you try, Bean Genius actually learns your individual taste preferences and then suggests future coffee blends for you. And now you can get 10% off your Bean Genius subscription when you use our promo code PIKE at checkout. Bean Genius offers a variety of subscription plans to suit any coffee lover's needs. Subscribe with Bean Genius today and start enjoying some of the best tasting coffee around. And save 10% off your coffee plan with promo code PIKE.
People gotta win sometime.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a giant, colorful check to deposit.
Beat the House is brought to you by BetMGM Casino. Play your favorite casino games at BetMGM Online Casino. Slots, table games, live dealer games, everything you love about Atlantic City and Vegas, all online at BetMGM. Don't wait. Join in the fun now. Go to BetMGM Casino, create an account using our promo code Turnpike, and become a verified player. New players get $25 free when signing up, plus a first deposit bonus up to $1,000. That's promo code Turnpike at BetMGM.com for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 free. Grab a lion's share of the fun at BetMGM.com. Must be 21 years or older to place a bet. Terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And welcome to this week's edition of Beating the House, where we're going to crisscross the country going through the different casino jackpots that have been reported by the casino properties, the lottery commissions, the bingo parlors, the poker rooms, what have you. If there's a winner, we're going to talk about it. And keep those press releases coming into the show, info@turnpikesportsradio.com, and we'll keep doing this segment. As I say every week, every time we do this segment, invariably we learn about a new game or an old game we hadn't heard of that, has been paying out lately. So keep them coming in, and we really do enjoy doing this segment. We're going to start off in Vegas.
All right.
Usually we start off in Vegas, and as a matter of fact,
Sure.
I'm looking through my notes right now, and most of our reports are going to be coming out of Nevada this week. This is a Nevada-centric, almost Nevada-centric. We got a bunch in Jersey as well, as a matter of fact.
Well, Las Vegas, I think the population swelled because the poker players are in town for the World Series of Poker, and, sometimes they throw a little money into the slots. Well, I don't know if there are poker players on your list.
There are no poker players on my list, so toss that statement out.
Okay.
Yes. Now, again, we're going to start off with the Harrah's Las Vegas.
Well, as far as we know, no poker players.
Right, exactly.
So.
Some of these could be.
Yeah.
Harrah's Las Vegas. We're going to start off with a visitor from Arizona. He plans to buy a home after winning the mega progressive jackpot on Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
Okay.
At Harrah's Las Vegas. This was on Sunday morning. No time was actually given.
So he's going to buy a home. How much did he win?
$918,430.
You can buy more than
buy multiple homes.
One home after that one. Yeah.
He hit a Diamond Royal Flush.
Wow.
To win the $430. But again, no word on what the size of the bet was. I'm very curious. When you see these numbers, I'm very curious to see exactly how much they bet on these.
Well, look, I mean,
it's just curiosity on my part.
You have to bet a certain amount to win a certain amount.
Yes.
So I'm sure he didn't bet $918,000.
No. I'm just wondering if this was like a $5 bet that just
$5
multiplied
or
50
or 100
or whatever.
It was still worth it.
Yeah, no,
it was still a good investment.
If you're getting almost $1 million, it's worth
it.
So whatever you bet, that's fine. But I was just curious. It wasn't reported. So
it's a good question.
Yeah. Staying in Nevada, we're going to Henderson this time. We're going to the Sunset Station in Henderson, Nevada. They're celebrating, by the way, their 25th anniversary.
Oh, wow.
And this happened during their 25th anniversary weekend.
Oh, hey, great.
This was...
You can't buy publicity a big jackpot. And especially your 25th anniversary and a big jackpot, good for them.
The casino opened June 10th, 1997, and like I said, they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, and it was the 25th anniversary weekend celebration that this happened.
Okay.
We have Wendy P. visiting from Kauai, Hawaii.
Kauai.
Did I do that?
Kauai.
I'm looking at my notes. And I'm just reading it off there, and I accidentally said it that way. Kauai, Hawaii. She bet $1.25 on Saturday, this past Saturday, to hit a Wheel of Fortune triple gold jackpot for $689,200.
See, now you know the size of the bet. $1.25.
That one I like seeing because
that's great.
$1.25 on it was a Saturday at 2 p.m. in the afternoon.
What was that, Wheel of Fortune?
Wheel of Fortune triple gold. That's
it seems
another
like
variation.
Every week we have a Wheel of Fortune jackpot.
Yes. If we're talking brick and mortar, it's more often than not a Wheel of Fortune or one of the Buffalo games.
Well, look, there's so many variations of these things. I mean, chances are, you're going to hit big. You're going to hit on one of the hundreds of variations of these slot games.
Well, a lot of times these casinos have multiple banks of all these different variations on one theme. The Wheel of Fortune, I don't think I've ever seen Wheel of Fortune all together, all the different variations. I mean, I've been walking through the casinos, and you see Wheel of Fortune triple gold someplace, and you see Wheel of Fortune, whatever you want to call it, in the next area, but not in one bank like they do at Lightning Link or the Buffaloes.
Let me tell you, I like online because if you're looking for a game manufacturer, they have them split up into the game. I mean, you can search IGT, and they have all the IGT games for you if you want.
Yeah, and also I think a lot of the online casinos now have Ainsworth games too. They have special sections for Ainsworth. So, there's a whole different things. Online's a different animal than brick and mortar, and there are different variations of these games between the brick and mortar and the online, especially Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune, I've never seen so many.
That and Monopoly.
Yes.
Yeah, tons of them.
Then you add in the Wheel of Fortune Megaways, the Monopoly Megaways, the Divine Fortune Megaways now. Yeah. So, there's a whole different thing. But $689,200 and 47 cents.
Oh, okay.
On $1.25 bet on the Wheel of Fortune Triple Gold at Sunset Station during their 25th anniversary celebration.
Wow.
Staying in Vegas, or going back to Vegas, we're going to the Aliante Casino. Massive 6-figure jackpot.
Okay.
Guest who lived in the area for over a decade played IGT's Game King video poker game with sequential royal flush progressives. That's a mouthful right there.
Yeah, boy.
Tuesday afternoon at 2:30.
I wonder if that's one of those games where you're sitting at the bar and you're playing the video poker.
2:30 in the afternoon, I would assume.
Outside of the bar, but I've never played video poker outside sitting on a bar.
I just wonder why it's 2 in the afternoon is starting to hit for everybody.
Hey, maybe that's the good time to do it.
Yeah, maybe they're kind of set up to have some kind of.
We got to get a slot expert and
Yes.
ask them when, or ask
Best
that
time of day
person
to play. Yes.
When's the best time to play.
Well, the Las Vegas local was playing, like I said, the IGT's Game King video poker. Now, remember that game.
All right.
Because it's going to come into play later on in this segment, too.
Oh, okay.
He made a $5 wager.
Oh, you got the amount.
Exactly. That's what I like. I like seeing that. Then the winner hit a rare sequential royal flush jackpot totaling $314,911.
Wow, that's great.
Yes. And according to the resident, who chose to remain anonymous, he'd been playing on the same bank of video poker machines for years, and he's won a couple royal flushes, but nothing this big before.
See, that's great. It's always great when, the regulars win. They're putting
for
in the time.
A decade-long regular, yeah.
That's
good to see.
They're giving Aliante Casino business and things like that. It's good. It's a bit of a payback.
Well, we're going to stay. We're going to stay in Las Vegas. Now we've got 2 Caesars Rewards members playing the same game as the guy in that previous story.
Wow, what the
yes
Game King
Game King video poker.
Okay, Game King
both
video
Caesars Rewards guests, and now I'm starting to wonder because I saw this both Bally's and Caesars Palace, both tweeted this out, different angles on the machine. So I don't know if it's the same story,
Okay,
because a Caesars Rewards member in both places, according to the tweets, hit a $100,000 jackpot playing the Game King video poker machine.
Well, what I'm getting out of this story is I got to look for the Game King video poker because it's
pays out.
It's given out.
Yes. Well, there's either 2 or 3 winners playing Game King.
2 or 3 winners.
I don't know how Bally's and Caesars Palace work their tweets or their social media, but again, Game King video poker.
See, that's one of those
tweeted
things I write down. Game King video poker. I'll check it out.
It's actually one of the classic video poker machines.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think most places have.
So chances are I've probably played it.
If you were sitting at a bar, I think you played it.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, you while you're sitting there doing your drinks, you're
doing my drinks.
Doing your drinks.
Getting my drink on?
Exactly.
Okay.
But yeah, Game King's everywhere.
All right.
Let's see. I think before I get away from the slot machines, I have a list of New Jersey jackpots.
Oh, all right.
Over the last 2 weeks, I do this every 2 weeks.
So every 2 weeks, you just
I'm going to put these in front of me.
This
so
media
I can
dump of Jersey jackpots, huh?
We have 15 jackpots of $100,000 or more in the last 2 weeks.
So
in Atlantic City.
These
I actually say New Jersey because they're online and brick and mortar.
Okay, I was going to say, are these both online and brick and mortar?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to start off. I'm going to read these because I got a whole list of them here. May 13th on Play MGM Casino, we have a $100,000 jackpot on the BWin MGM Grand Millions. That's another online slot that's specifically designed for MGM's website.
Yeah. Okay.
Going to resorts. We haven't seen a resorts Atlantic City jackpot in a while. $100,000 playing IGT's Top Dollar machine. It was actually the high roller machine. It was the $100 denomination machine.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. We're going to Borgata brick and mortar. $200,000 on a IGT bonus poker machine. So another video poker winner. Going to DraftKings.com. $110,423.08 playing Divine Fortune.
Okay.
Divine Fortune pays out again.
That's a fun game to play.
Going to Tropicana. This is brick and mortar now. $171,500 on May 21st playing IGT's Crystal Sevens. Now, last time I did this, we had 2 or 3 jackpots on Crystal Sevens.
I remember that name.
So $171,000 this time. Going to playmgm.com, we have 2 on the same day at playmgm.com and 1 at Borgata Brick and Mortar, all on the same day. We have $174,772 playing the Mirage Mega Magma on PlayMGM.
All right.
Never heard of that game before, but I've seen it.
Okay.
I've never played it. I've heard of it, but I've never played it. $100,000 playing Evolution's Borgata Slingo Extreme with the triple X's.
Okay.
If you've been to Borgata's website, the online casino has an entire section on Slingo games.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, they have an entire Slingo area.
Slingo, okay.
Yes. Going to betfaircasino.com, which is also part of FanDuel at Stardust. $100,900 jackpot playing Turn Your Fortune Touch. Another online game.
All right.
Borgata Brick and Mortar on May 22nd, $100,185 playing the Lightning Cash Happy Lantern. And if I remember correctly, the Lightning Cash Happy Lantern is a Halloween-themed game.
Oh, really?
It's with the jack-o'-lanterns on it.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
All right.
May 24th, BallyCasino.com. Scientific Games, Jin Jiao Bao Ji Endless Treasures. One of the Oriental-themed games, obviously, by that name. $100,000 even. Going to the next stop on our list here, we have at Play Sugar House. We haven't done Play Sugar House too much.
Yeah.
$100,000 playing IGT Double Diamond, which is the online version of the classic slot machine.
Okay.
We've got over on May 30th, 3 jackpots on PlayMGMCasino.com, all playing the same game.
Really?
The Green Machine Deluxe.
I've never heard of that one. I don't even know what that is. Is that a slot machine?
It's a slot machine.
Okay.
These are three jackpots, and actually 2 are only over 100,000. One's under it, but I had to include it because it's all the same game. Could be the same player.
Okay.
For all I know.
All right. Well,
$174,560, $160,160, and $55,680, all playing high fives. The Green Machine Deluxe in Jersey.
all right.
So those are the Jersey jackpots.
All right.
They're both online and brick and mortar, and like I always tell people, this is public knowledge if you want to check it out for yourself, because it's very interesting to see what games are paying out, what games
Sure.
are constantly paying out,
And
more
which
so than
casinos
others.
are paying
and
out.
which casinos.
Yeah.
You just go to Division of Gaming Enforcement and go to what's called the Slot Laboratory.
Slot Laboratory.
And they have a list of the jackpots. As a matter of fact, at the top of the list, they always tell you how many jackpots have occurred throughout the current fiscal year, as well as how many $1 million jackpots. And we're lagging this year in New Jersey for $1 million jackpots. We've only got 2 this year so far.
Oh, wow.
We had 4 or 5 last year. So,
well, I'll get right online and
yes, there you go.
Contribute to the state of New Jersey.
Head on out. Head on out and do it.
Yeah, right.
Okay, we're going back now to Nevada for our next story. We have a Keno jackpot.
Keno, huh?
We have
All
not
right.
had a Keno jackpot story in quite a while, so I figured let me include this one so we can actually get the little monkey off our back for not having Keno.
Keno's an interesting thing. I know a lot of people who play Keno, they just get their numbers at the beginning of the day, walk around for the rest of the day, and then check them at the end of the day.
Yes.
I mean, did this person sit there and watch the numbers come out, or what happened?
No word on whether or not
Okay.
this guy sat there or this person sat
It's always worth getting a Keno ticket and at the beginning of
Yes.
your session, your gambling session, and walk around and check it at the end of the day.
Well, also, certain states allow Keno outside the casinos, too.
Yeah, Massachusetts, who doesn't allow any kind of betting. It's a
but they love
strange
their
kind
Keno.
of weird
They
thing. They got
love their
casinos, but it's they don't allow online any kind of betting. They don't allow sports betting, but you can play Keno
Yes.
in restaurants and
Yes.
bars.
You can play to your heart's content
Yeah.
Keno anywhere you want. But here we have the El Cortez Casino. As a matter of fact, I think we had a story last week from the El Cortez detailing how many slot machine jackpots they've had over the last couple of weeks. This now we have a local player again, winning $250,000 after hitting 9 out of 10 spots on the U1 Circus Keno game.
Oh, okay.
No word on what the amount would have been if he hit 10 out of 10. But he was playing.
See, I'm used to. I don't know what that is, but I'm used to those Keno games where you fill it out. It looks like a lottery thing that you're filling out. This is that's what it is. Okay.
He wagered $13 on the video machine. Oh, it's a video machine. I'm sorry.
Oh,
it's a video
okay.
Keno. He wagered $13 on the video machine and also hit the 10 times multiplier to generate a $250,000 jackpot.
Wow. Okay.
And that's with winning only 9 out of 10 spots.
Now, I've certainly never played a. What is it? What kind of video? Keno machine? A video machine?
You won Circus Keno.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
video,
No, I
it's
fill
a
out
video
the cards
Keno machine.
and I, give my money in and stuff like that.
Well, again, another Las Vegas or Nevada local winning.
Good.
Which is, most of these are actually locals except
Good.
for the first two. Last story of the week, we are going to Montreal. We have Marcel Lucere.
Good name from Montreal.
Yes.
Nice. Marcel Lucere.
He was playing the Lotto Max jackpot. As a matter of fact, he plays it every week. What he does every week is the night before the drawing, he crafts a list of everything he would do if he won the jackpot. This time he did not do that.
Okay.
So he woke up, checked the Lotto Quebec website, and according to his statements, he felt his blood pressure rising as he was reading the numbers on the screen and found out that he had just won $70 million.
Wow. Congratulations.
$70 million on the Lotto Max jackpot. According to Lotto Quebec, the gaming authority which issues the game and monitors it, Marcel is the third person to win the $70 million jackpot in Quebec since 2020.
Wow.
And
should play lottery in Canada.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes. And he's also walking away with an additional $27,000 in secondary prizes. So I don't know what the secondary prizes
were. You won $70 million, and by the way, you
Here's
also won $27,000.
Yes.
Too. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And the store where he bought the ticket received $700,000.
See, that's great.
1% of the jackpot.
Yep, that's great.
So it was kind of nice to see that he varied from his pattern and won the lottery.
Hey, I guess he found a good system.
And you want the last little coincidence for this?
What's that?
When he was employed at a company called Hydro Quebec, he's an engineer. He's a retired engineer.
Okay.
He worked in the same building the lottery company is.
Oh,
and they were handing him his large novelty check in the same office space where he worked.
That's great.
Which is kind of weird. If
See,
you think
it's
about that.
nice end to the story.
Yes. So coincidence, but it's a good one.
Yep.
That's it for this week's Beating the House. Please keep the press releases coming in. info@turnpikesportsradio.com. We'll keep doing this segment. Casinos, lotteries, bingo parlors, poker rooms. Send them all in, and we'll make sure we hit the different jackpots each week, and we'll just continue doing the segment.
And that'll do it for us this week. We'll see you next time on the Turnpike.